Hello and welcome to the Morning Signal. The Morning Signal, Preparedness Brief, delivers a daily intelligence update designed to support situational awareness and readiness with action items specifically catered towards the preparedness community, delivered in a convenient, typically 3-minute long package. Please like and subscribe if you find this content helpful. The Morning Signal Daily Preparedness Brief for January 12th, 2026. In Iran, nationwide protests, internet blackouts, and regime instability. Mass anti-government protests in Iran continue into a third week, driven initially by economic distress and an extreme fall in the rial. The government has imposed a nationwide internet shutdown and communications blackout, a hallmark of information control ahead of intensified repression. Reports indicate hundreds of deaths and over 10,000 arrests, with authorities using severe force. State rhetoric frames demonstrators as terrorists. Foreign ministers claim control, but acknowledge readiness for negotiations and war. Ambiguous leadership posture suggests internal stress. International reactions include condemnation from some Western governments and statements of restraint from others. Why this matters. Information blackouts disrupt civilian coordination and external reporting, making situational awareness difficult while increasing the risk of sudden escalation or spillover. National unrest of this scale can impact energy markets, cyber postures, and regional security dynamics. Watch items and preparedness actions. Expect rapid changes or fragmentary information. Prioritize multiple independent sources, satellite and OSINT. Prepare for market volatility tied to geopolitical risk premiums. And in high-risk areas, maintain communications redundancy when possible. Geopolitical conflict and other regime stress. Venezuela. U.S. warns citizens to leave Venezuela amid ongoing security fluidity and armed groups posing risks. Routine consular services remain suspended. Infrastructure and power outages reported. Regional spillover. Ongoing instability could affect energy supply expectations and shipping for crude exports. Watch items and actions. If travel in Latin America is necessary, monitor consular advisories and flight availability. Keep emergency contact methods ready for travelers in high-risk regions. Economic market signals, gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Gold rose sharply, surpassing $4,600 per ounce on strong safe haven demand amid geopolitical uncertainty and domestic political tensions. Silver reached record levels above $86 per ounce as risk sentiment intensified. Bitcoin sentiment from broader market data suggests notable volatility tied to risk flight. Reported drop below a major technical threshold. Why this matters. Precious metals and crypto markets often reflect real-time risk appetite. Sharp moves indicate elevating uncertainty and liquidity shifts that can precede broader financial market reactions. Watch items and actions. Track gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices as they move for risk sentiment signals, not trading advice. If sharp anomalies persist, reassess short-term exposures and maintain liquidity buffers. This is not financial advice. U.S. domestic security and civil unrest. Protests linked to the federal immigration enforcement actions continue in multiple cities following the fatal ICE shooting in Minneapolis. What began as a local response has expanded into coordinated demonstrations nationwide, with public disagreement between federal and local officials over enforcement tactics and use of force. This matters less for politics and more for movement and access. Sustained protests increase the likelihood of traffic disruptions, transit interruptions, temporary disclosures, and localized curfews, particularly near downtown areas and federal facilities. Preparedness actions here are practical and immediate. No alternate routes for routine travel. Avoid downtown cores and federal buildings during peak protest hours. Keep vehicles fueled above half a tank. Do not linger, observe, or engage. Preparedness in this context is about timing and avoidance, not participation. This is the end of the brief.